When the champ loses his belt and he's in a rare opportunity, it could be one of those like culture shock moments. Normally 3 rounds, I gotta work quick now. I got a young hungry dude trying to make his name off me. But this is different, man. This is a main event. 5 rounds, style bender. The only thing that's missing is there's no belt up for grabs. So I don't feel like this is too much different. And there's even one better opportunity here. Depending on the game plan of Nassourdine Imavov, you might not have to defend takedowns for 25 straight minutes. This could be a pure kickboxing match. What do you think?
Absolutely, Derek. And I think the most comfortable way that Nassourdine has at least shown in his history is with that standing and trading, is with a technical fight going forward. And unfortunately, he's matched up against a technician, right, in Izzy that we've seen, just master classes against people through all different skill sets. He can falter with some pressure going into that. So I see Nassourdine wanting to lead the fight, wanting to put that pressure on, kind of like a Sean Strickland style of fight that he had against Izzy, either win a decision or look for that solid little KO combo.
I think the pressure, man, I think that's going to be the key thing in this matchup. I think that's the number one thing that we need to talk about here. Veteranship, none of that stuff really matters. What matters is Israel Adesanya is 35 years old. Could be slowing down. Could be. You saw that fight against Dricus, right? And listen, the stand-up is still phenomenal. But my question is, when we get into those championship rounds, one thing that we have seen, and you can't deny this, one thing that we have seen is Nassourdine Imavov, who doesn't have a ton of this like 5-round championship experience or anything like that, right? But the man has been shown, the gas tank has been getting a little better, a little bit better. Adesanya, on the other hand, I just start to see a little bit of a slowdown here where if the right pressure is applied, can be some real problems. But that would mean Imavov has to be foot on the gas, 25 minutes, get him up in the clinch and don't give him room to breathe, because we know where Stylebender is at his most dangerous. It's at that kicking range. It's at that setup, feint, calf kicks, all that. How does Imavov use that pressure to stop it?
Cut off the cage. I mean, make Izzy uncomfortable. We've seen it in his last couple of fights. He'll get that 1,000-yard stare, right? Eyes are big. He's instantly looking for the guy to shoot, and he's nervous about it, where we're not seeing Izzy in his flow state, where he's at range, kicking, striking, doing all the stuff he's good at. If Imavov is able to cut off the cage consistently and then just keep Izzy just locked down in one corner or the other, right? Just keep him there. I think that's going to do, work miles for Nassourdine throughout the entire fight, especially if it starts off in the first round, you're getting to the third, you see Izzy expecting that to be the case that's going forward. You can't let him control that distance and that tempo. Man, Nassourdine has a good shot of putting that style of fight together.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a good point right there, right? Like, use all of the tape that you have on Adesanya and just break it down. Do everything that everybody has done in order to give him some fits. But that's the problem, though, man. You have to then combine yourself into 3-4 different fighters that Nassourdine Imavov just purely isn't, man. Here's one area, though, that I think can get really interesting here, and this doesn't involve too much pressure, but close that gap a little bit and trade for some pocket boxing. Yeah, I kind of think that Imavov is a better pocket boxer than Adesanya is. Do you think he can give him some fits there?
Especially in the amount of pop that Imavov has on his shots, right? Because Izzy's a technician, he's a sniper. All he needs is one perfectly placed shot to put you out. But if he's hitting you with a 3 or 4 punch combo, he's not putting everything into that, where Imavov is putting everything into the 1s and 2s, right? Just a short combo, but he hits with a lot of power. And if that's the trade that is willing to be made in the octagon, right, going toe-to-toe and actually swinging it out, I think Imavov has more power in the shots he's able to place.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Let's talk numbers on this one, man. 4.5 rounds is the over, minus 170 was the open on that line, plus 140 for the under. I think if you're an Imavov bettor, you have to bet the under. I don't think that there's a fighter on the roster in the 185-pound division that doesn't currently hold a title and who can hold Izzy down for 5 rounds that will win a decision against Israel Adesanya. I think that's a very difficult ask, even in this stage of his career, but that's where things get a little bit tricky right here. Look at these decision props, plus 165 for Izzy, plus 265 for Imavov. AJ, I'm curious, what does the path to a decision look like for Imavov? Because aside from clinching and holding against the cage, do you think he can hold Adesanya on his back for multiple rounds?
I do think Nassourdine can hold Izzy on his back for multiple rounds. I think the hardest part about that is going to be getting Izzy to a spot where he can hold him down. Yeah, he can hit a trip and then Izzy's going to sprawl, or, he's able to get the body down just for a second. But if Izzy is able to pop back up instantly like we've seen, and he has good takedown defense, it's just the guys who are mauling him, who are just consistently going after it. I don't know if Nassourdine has that style of fight in him to be able to continuously go for takedowns. I think it's going to be more of a clinch battle, more of a cage battle, and controlling that pressure and cutting things off and not letting Izzy set up the traps in order to get the knockout.
For looking at numbers, 1.12 takedowns landed per 15 minutes for Imavov. This dude isn't like a high volume takedown artist right here. My worry more than anything else is that he's able to just get to the back and take Izzy's neck. Like, that's my worry. Anything outside of that, I'm not too concerned. But the other thing that I'm looking at is championship experience, man. Izzy got it. He's the veteran. He knows what to do. And I think that there's only, like, what Strickland did with the pressure, because those are the two losses, right? Strickland and Duplessis, that people are like, oh, he can't handle pressure fighters, can't handle grapplers. Strickland, it was really interesting because Strickland took away the calf kick of Israel Adesanya, which I think is the foundation of his offense. I'm not sure if Imavov can take away the calf kick the same way that the marching man Sean Strickland can, with just both the with both the legs up. You know what I mean? Doing the whole. You can't see it, folks, what I'm doing, but he brings that that Muay Thai stance to check that leg kick. I think that if he doesn't take it away, I think Israel Adesanya opens up and gets it done. Here's the big question, man: how does he get it done? I'm a big fan of the decision. I don't think this version of Israel Adesanya is the same hungry version that we saw against, just pre Alex Paeta, man, where he was taking dudes' heads off when he was trying to fight Paulo Costa and dry hump him after. I don't think we see that version. I think the dude who skates to a dominant decision, a dominant one-sided decision right here for the most part, and just shows that he said it himself, man. He's the gatekeeper, even if it's a joke. He's the gatekeeper right now, and the goal is to get back to the title. What do you think?
Yeah, no, Derek, I think the smart money right there, if you're an Israel Adesanya better, is that decision at plus 165. Makes a lot of sense. I think he's going to go out there and want to make a show, but also put on a masterclass. Show that he still is that guy. And yeah, even though he is a gatekeeper, he's not the one holding the belt. He can still have opportunities to get the belt, and he's not going to let by an easy layup for anybody else.
Final play, the live odd right now, minus 160 Adesanya money line. You take that, or do you take the plus 165 decision? Do you take that purely over the money line?
I do actually, Derek. I think Izzy, even though he's not that young, hungry dog we've been talking about, I do think he still has the technique, kind of like how a Stephen Thompson, Stephen Thompson can still knock you out, but it's with all technique now. I think Izzy can still have those traps in his arsenal to be able to put the lights out. I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
Yeah, no, fair play. All right, that's the play then. Israel Adesanya, folks, this is that opportunity we talked about at the beginning of the show, where the line just looks a little mispriced based on the actual fighter that you have in front of you. So we're going the last style bender. Decision is the play. I'm going to rock with the pure money line, but if you're telling AJ, go in for that decision prop right there. Cash money. All right.